around where there's weeds and rubbish and whatever. And we could use everybody's help. I'm hoping to have some of the National Honor Society students, but I haven't heard back from the sponsors yet. So all ages are welcome, and we won't allow the kids to be doing anything along Hainesville Road. So parents, just bring your kids and we'll put them someplace safe but helpful. So thanks.
In fact, I just want to add to that. You reminded me when you mentioned flip-flops. I talked with George Ballas from Clark Mosquito Abatement, and again, they're behind because of the rains in some of their preventive measures, and of course you haven't seen the helicopters that you typically would have had out by now. However, that all being said, they're doing what they can do, and yes, unless the temperature drops below 60 this weekend, which it doesn't look like it will, there will be a spray treatment done for the community, so mosquitoes will hopefully be out at bay while we are out enjoying our Memorial Day barbecues and wonderful new big-sized backyards. And also that will include the ATV treatment in Granbury Lake as well.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, and also after the cleanup from 1 to 3:30, there's an open house at the Public Works Building and a cookout for everybody, not just those who did the cleanup, but for everybody in the village.
We want everybody to see what the building is. You'll really be surprised when you walk in there and get inside the bays and see the potential and opportunities that are there for the future, and also what we're using it for now. So we hope we get a good turnout, so spread the word to your neighbors, please. Any other standing committee announcements?
Real quickly, with the events that have happened down in Joplin, I talked to a couple of friends of mine from the law enforcement community that were traveling by car through that area. Fortunately, they decided to spend a night in Tulsa, Oklahoma instead of Joplin. And when they came through Joplin, it was just devastation. It was just phenomenal. And I have to tell everybody from a public safety standpoint to always be sure to be aware of what's going on around the area here with the weather and pay attention to it, because the people in Joplin, according to what I've read through FEMA and the various emergency management agencies, only had a 15-minute warning. And they also said that because of the heavy rain and the hail that was happening at the time, it may have affected the sound and the travel distance of the tones of the sirens that were sounded. So I gotta warn everybody, I mean, no matter what, it's not a matter of, you know, is a tornado ever going to hit here? It's a matter of when we're going to have issues with tornadoes here in the upper Midwest. Right now, because there's more heat down south, that's generally what's spawning a lot of these with the cold weather, running into the warm moisture coming up out of the Gulf. But it's just what I've read through FEMA and from the live reports I've got from my friends that came back from a trade show. When you watch a storm that size pick up an 80,000-pound tractor trailer and throw it half a mile down the road, that tells you just the sheer ferocity of the storm. And so everybody, spend the money if you can get a weather radio, pay attention to your surroundings, especially when the media starts talking about storms. Yeah, a lot of times just, they may be crying that it's Chicken Little, the sky is falling, but the one time that somebody doesn't pay attention to it is when somebody's going to get hurt. Just something to think about.
Kevin, who sets off the sirens?
CENTCOM sets off the sirens.
Okay, so would that be the time that we would need to go to basements and stuff?
Absolutely.
But we wouldn't, just because they say there's a watch or a warning, we wouldn't have to do it until we heard the siren?
No, I would suggest that sirens always, but once you start hearing watches and warnings, pay attention to the Weather Channel especially. I mean, if you have cable or if you have satellite, you can get it.
Warning means to take shelter now.
Warning means take shelter. Watch means that the conditions are probable. Right now, the National Weather Service issued probability reports in the morning that the Chickasaw, Oklahoma area, the Joplin, Missouri area had a 9 rating, which means that there's going to be a tornado somewhere in that area this afternoon or yet this evening. So pay attention to what, what the local media is telling you, and then prepare accordingly. Make sure that you've got a shelter and a safe place in your basement, and that you have supplies to last yourself for at least 72 hours after the storm, so that, emergency management and other agencies can actually get to you to help you so that you can survive yourself. That's, it's a big thing about taking care of your own personal safety.
I have a question. You mentioned the weather radios. Have we heard anything, or we can find out the grant that was awarded for the weather radios? Will those be replaced, or will have those?
No, that project kind of fell right flat. With ISMA said, we can't do this again because evidently they paid for the radios, and then the manufacturer halfway around the world said, too bad, too sad that they don't meet the quality requirements. So basically, the ISMA group from down by Springfield, and what is that county down there, Iroquois County, basically took a $28,000 shot in the chops on that one. They said, there's no radios, they aren't going to replace them, and they can't get any more, they can't get the funding for it. So if somebody here in the community has a hook with Walgreens or, one of the big retailers, if they could come up with, 20, 25 radios for all the public buildings here, it'd be a great thing to put those in every public building in the community. I don't know, I mean, I have no connections to the Walgreens people. My retailers that I deal with in my job professionally, they're more appliances and...
Okay, I was just curious if we could just, since it was a grant, usually you can be rewarded, or compensated.
Nobody got radio number one because they failed the quality test when Iroquois County was testing them. They couldn't put the codes into them, and they wouldn't receive the tone words, so they ended up shipping them back, and they said, don't do that.
Okay, any other standing committee announcements?
We had our movie night, movie afternoon, I guess, on Sunday, and we had 10 people show up, and then with Jordan, Georgiana, and me at 12. With that kind of turnout, we have decided that we are going to show one more movie, Night at the Museum 2, on the 4th Sunday in June, and then we're going to call it quits. Because while it's not terribly expensive for the amount of people that we are getting to show up, it is, cost per head is a little bit too high. So it was a nice idea. It was something we decided to try out. It wasn't that well received, but it's still something I'm glad we tried, because we do have all the equipment to do it. And look for a survey coming soon so that we can find out what other community events you would like, because we really would like, other than Hainesville Fest or something like that, something else that we can do to bring the community together.
I just want to add to that comment about the survey. I had asked John to help me start investigating. Through our CTY service, they have some type of survey ability, and then there's also sites that you may be familiar with, such as SurveyMonkey. And we're going to put together a very simple survey directly related to community events. Trustee Duberstein was just reminding me, and yeah, I had just been reading these again the other day. When we did the big survey, what was that, a year and a half ago, we did touch on community events in there, and we're going to take some of that as a basis of asking questions of what we would like to see. So we may even do a CTY call that tells you how to get to the survey through whether it's the website or what have you, so that we can make sure we get a good involvement in that. And we're going to ask about the movie event and other questions, just what people would like to see or they don't feel is something that they feel the village needs to offer. I think that's it on committee announcements. Okay, let's move on to business. The first item, Jim Rock, our attorney, had brought this up at the last meeting, the Village of Hainesville Identity Protection Policy. And this is just a policy we need to adopt, not in ordinance form, it will just become general policy. Do you have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Darrenowski.
Aye.
Reese.
Aye.
Duberstein.
Aye.
Barrett.
Aye.
And Bailey.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, we're moving on to community events discussion. This is what I am going to anticipate most of our time is spent on tonight. I don't know that we're going to solve this entirely tonight, but I thought we could certainly narrow some things down. Hopefully everybody's read my cover memo and emails that I've included. Also, we have a resident here. If you want to stand, Mark Yoder. How are you? Mark, is there any comments you want to share before we get started, or?
I don't know much at this point because I contacted Phil and I contacted the other band, but I have not heard back from them.
Okay,
We're
all right.
still trying to figure out schedules, but whatever information I can learn, I can bring it back to them and get a step further.
Okay, great. The other sheets that I just passed out shows donations that we received, and then also expenditures. I gave 2 copies. One, I put some lines through some items that if we're going to still pursue the same Hainesville Fest venue, that I felt that these were items that certainly could immediately be dropped and still we could have a very successful event. But the question is, do we want to stick with the traditional Hainesville Fest or do we want to try something new? Hainesville Fest has been great, but it's been the same thing for a number of years now. So ideas that have been tossed around, both in the survey from residents, comments, and even trustees, is a concert in the park. And we have a wonderful residential band that has played Hainesville Fest, but we can also use them where they are providing the entertainment. We would perhaps have a joint effort with Lund's Winery, who was at Hainesville Fest last year, with Winos, which is the nice wine shop on Washington Street across from CLC, and the VFW beer tent possibly. And people could come and bring their own basket, just like a mini Ravinia, and then we'd have great music. And then the other question is whether we want to have an element for children that same day or do something different. So that's one of the thoughts. Now that, I think, what attracts me to that event is it's a fairly low cost for, I think, what provides a very lovely event for our residents. They can walk, they don't even have to drive if they don't want to, and they can just mingle and socialize, and if they just want to kick back on a blanket, they can do that. The other thought, well, do we do a series of these? Do we have 2 or 3 this year and see if it takes off? Because maybe if you don't like one kind of music, maybe the next month we feature another kind. Because no matter how well you plan an event, it's not going to be something for everyone. Gary Walkington, I asked him for his opinion since he wasn't going to be present tonight, and he raised a good point. He thinks Hainesville Fest has been a great event, but he also feels that it attracts the same crowd of people, and that we are only singing to the same group of people, and that we're missing another large group. The holiday mixer was well received. That's a very low budget event, and again, was very fun and very successful, so I certainly think we want to keep doing that. I'm going to open the floor and maybe go one by one on trustees, and I welcome whoever's here to then come in line to the mic. We want comments. John had been helpful in getting me quotes on a picnic from Leonetti's Catering and Corky's, and the question is, would the village provide a lunch or a meal if we did a Hainesville Fest, or if we just call it a concert in the park, but lunch is provided? At our 150th anniversary, everybody in the village did get a free lunch, so to speak, but we were also not as big. It's also been brought up, well, they should pay something. It's just it should be reasonable. There's been comments that some of the food was very expensive at Hainesville Fest. And last year it was, particularly the vendor who got the corn donated for free from Gary Walkington. It was very upsetting to Gary that he was selling it for $2 a year. So,
here's my 2 cents.
okay, microphone.
Whatever we do, if we stick with any format similar to Hainesville Fest, I think it should be self-supporting through donations or charges. That even though we budgeted, I think, $10,000, possibly $11,000 for it this year, we should not spend that money.
Well, I agree it has to be less, because at the time we approved the budget, we didn't know quite what Illinois was doing or proposing, and we didn't know about the quadrennial assessment.